The key to finding a solid project that has a lot of moonshot potential is solid development, good track record, trustability, and some different aspects to the project that show a little bit of innovation. And in this video, we're going to take a look at a new project that just launched here in June that has a lot of things going for it and has a lot of potential to really go up in value, as they have the first ever proof of liquidity, where they have taken the entire supply and put it on Uniswap. So there's no minting of new coins. So because of that, there's a lot of potential for this to go up in value, especially with some of the different developments that they have in the works and some of the track record of some of the projects that they have developed in the past. There's a lot of unique, interesting elements to this project. So in this video, I'm going to break it down and show you where the opportunity is. Welcome to Clover Crypto. If you're looking to learn more about decentralized applications, trading, and other passive income opportunities, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss out. UniPower has a lot of upside potential and deserves a closer look. When you take a look at some of the tokenomics, 1 million tokens, all put on Uniswap, you don't have the same risk of a whale coming in and dumping on everyone's heads that we've seen in other DeFi projects that just got destroyed because of that. So there's a lot of strong support with this. When you take a look at the community, you look at some of the previous projects that this development team has been involved with ETHEREUM, TRON, some of the crypto idle games. There's also EthPrime, TRON Prime, and the Frag project, a deflationary token with a lot of innovation behind that. It was one of the first on the TRON network, and there was a lot of things that were incorporated into the Frag ecosystem. So that was a really interesting project that was brought on by the same group of guys. Just to briefly outline all of the positive aspects of UniPower, you have a veteran dapp developer in Hank Grenade with an outstanding track record of successful projects in the past. The project has developed a very friendly community-first approach with fairness in mind, and perhaps there's no greater example of that than when you look at the tokenomics. Dividends are distributed 100% to stakers with no dev fee ever, so it's very decentralized in that way. The project has essentially been gifted to the community, as 100% of the original 1 million token supply was added to the Uniswap liquidity pool when UniPower first launched. So as people bought into the project, you have very organic growth as more innovation was added. There will be more opportunity with UniPower in the future as more dapps are in development. There's going to be more innovation. Right now, if you're looking for passive income, you have the ability to earn on your UniPower tokens just by those simply going up in value as more utility is added. But really the opportunity is in staking. So you have two staking dapps. You have the PowerLock and you have the StaticPower, and those are the two primary dapps that you have the ability to stake and earn dividends. Right now, 60% of the supply is locked up in these two dapps, with the majority of it in StaticPower, which gives you a little bit of an indication because PowerLock is a little bit more mid-term, whereas StaticPower is more long-term. So if you're in this project for the long-term, you see a lot of the people are staking in that project. So the way PowerLock works is, if this is something where perhaps you want to buy into UniPower, you want to wait for it to double in price, and you want to have the ability perhaps to cash out, you can withdraw your funds at any time. So when you're staking in PowerLock, you're earning a percentage of the fees on Uniswap. And there's also different trading contests from time to time where you can earn UniPower based on the volume of your address in the Uniswap contract. So there's some different incentives to increase volume. With PowerLock, just keep in mind that you have a 30-day, a 90-day, or 180-day lock-in period. And so you get an extra 10% if you do it for 90 days, an extra 25% if you do it for 180 days. And so you can perhaps play around with some of those, look and see if one is more profitable than the other. StaticPower is the long-term play, and so there's a 10% fee to go in, 10% fee to come out. And the way these work is typically you want to go in with the intentions of not pulling out, only pulling out your dividends. When you buy into the StaticPower dapp, you're buying STAT tokens, and those have a static price, and so there's no need to concern with buying in early or buying in late, it's always the same price. And so if you're looking at this as a long-term play, that may be one of the best options for you, and that's a great way to earn passive income. I see a lot of people, that seems to be one of the best ways to get in right now. You have over 40% of the total supply is locked up in that dapp. And there's also going to be a lot of dapps that are going to be added into the future that funnel volume into that contract. And so that's one of perhaps the best contract to get into right now if you're looking for passive income. Recommend if you're going to get into UniPower to have a little bit of a position in that contract, as that is where there's going to be quite a bit of opportunity as more and more projects are developed here in the near future. So more staking dapps are currently in development. One in particular, the way it's going to work is all of the buy-in, the reinvest, and the sell fees are all going to be added to the StaticPower contract, further increasing volume. And that's one of the ways that you have a contract that's built on top of a contract. So you can think of the StaticPower and the PowerLock contracts as foundational contracts. One is giving you passive income based on the Uniswap fees. Another one is giving you passive income based on long-term stakers. And the UniPower token is the foundational token of that entire ecosystem. So that's a good way to conceptualize this as more and more projects are built on top of this. One of the really cool projects that I'm looking at very closely that is integrated into the UniPower system is EthPrime. And so this one is a dapp portfolio fund. You're investing into this project, into a smart contract, and it is investing autonomously into other dapp projects. And 9% of that is going into StaticPower. So again, another contract that's built on top of the foundational contracts associated with UniPower. So EthPrime, definitely has some really interesting aspects. One of the biggest hindrances with not only EthPrime, but some of these other projects, if you wanted to buy UniPower tokens, is going to be some of the gas fees. And so again, I covered this a little bit in a few of my other videos. You want to look for some of the best times of the day to look for cheap gas fees to get into some of these projects. And typically that's been around 21 universal time. So you want to check that in your time zone and find the best time to get some of the best gas fees. And typically the weekends are a little bit better. Thursday is kind of the peak of the highest gas fees. So if you can kind of avoid that day or kind of look at some different opportunities, that's going to be the best time to look at getting into these projects until we get Ethereum 2.0 and get some of these gas fees under control. EthPrime is a newer dapp, but it's essentially almost identical to TRON Prime, which was on the TRON network. Now, TRON Prime doesn't feed into the UniPower ecosystem. It feeds into Frag token and some of the other TRON projects. EthPrime is feeding into UniPower. And so that's one of the key distinctions that you want to look at there, but this has already worked with TRON and they're just porting this over to Ethereum and changing up the tokenomics a little bit. So that's a basic overview of this project. There's going to be more developments that are coming here in the near future. I think there's a lot of upside potential with UniPower. I think they have a very solid development team, very strong community. This is one that, it has a lot of fairness in mind. When you're looking at the tokenomics, you're looking at some of the innovation behind the dapps that are going to be incorporated. So I encourage you guys to get in the Telegram group. I've left those in the description below. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.